I hope you'll please take the booklet. Howard contributed his piece, and we all added our artistic statements. And there's a quote that I included at the end of my statement, and I'd like to just reflect a little bit on the process of making the piece, and I want to read the quote now. It says, "What else do we have except remembrance and memory? Without memory, we are lost." And that is the beginning and the whole reason that this story started. I remember the day with Laura and Jack at your office. I sat down and started to go through month by month, page by page, and found all of her work. And this chill went up my spine. I thought, this can't go away. Her words were too important. The guy, what she said to us, had to live on. And so Corey Adcock, she's sitting down because she's so tired, scanned all the articles for a book and about Diane's work, and it's gorgeous, and I'm going to give that to you in just a minute. But the other part too was after I got all the work, stacked it up in my studio. Usually my studio is filled with paints and brushes and sanding paper and aluminum, and here in my studio were stacks and stacks of magazine and paper. And I thought, okay, I have my paper clips, I have my paper clips from China, and this voice came into my head, two voices. The first voice was my grandfather's. "Francie, don't start something you can't finish." So I did one. I thought, okay, I can do it. Did number 2, a little easier. 3, okay. 4. The word perfectly on the clip was integrity. I threw up my hands. I said, "That's it. I'm doing it." And that's what started the project, was that word. And what evolved was, as you read in the booklet, a story of a community of people who came together, not just with Diane's story, but we talked about hopes, we talked about sorrows, because everybody has a story. And they all came and talked, and there's a reference to the new shoe, and Norma's here, who's writing a book on the new shoe, and we shared this wonderful experience. So I want to thank you as a community of friends. We're a community that care about each other, and we're also a community that likes to do good things and to make life better. So with that, I'm going to present your books. Corey, they're beautiful. So, as from a mother, birth of a daughter, wife, and mama. So it's a lovely book, and I hope that you'll open the pages and treasure. Thank you. And I'd like to introduce Laura Elliott, who was a wonderful friend of Diane's, was with her during a year of illness. Wonderful writer. She's inspiring my daughter to read, go to the Holocaust Museum. So I appreciate what you do.
I'm just here really to introduce Jack Lippert, who is the editor of the Washingtonian, who of course made all these words possible. I will tell you that Jack did many things for me in my career. He gave me many gifts, but the best thing was coming in one day, I can still remember it, and saying, "I've hired this new writer, and she's wonderful and brilliant and kind and a good person, and I think you two will be friends." And it was very, very true. The best gift he ever gave me, both personally and professionally. You know, those of you who have done strollers with Diane, you know, she taught me how to get the stroller up or get back down the staircase without killing the kid or myself. She also told me, and I know she would say, don't tell them that, but she told me that if you go to McDonald's and you can't give your child anything else to eat, they will eat French fries at McDonald's. And my child would eat nothing else did. And she more profoundly taught me to celebrate and delight in my children's unique intelligences. And it always made me think that Diane's greatest intelligence was a compassionate intelligence. She was a magnificent writer, and whenever I write something, I always wonder, would it pass her test? So here's Jack.
We discovered Diane's words in 1985. I was a judge of the Dirksen Awards, which is a contest for Capitol Hill journalism. Diane was with CQ at that time. And I remember reading her entries and thinking, this is the clearest, most intelligent writing in this whole group. Some big TV person won the award, but so out of the blue I called Diane, and she had just had Matthew and was interested in having a more flexible work time. And that was the pattern with Diane. She was a wonderful family person that every couple of years it seemed she'd come into my office and say, can we go talk for a minute? And usually when people come in and ask that, they're either looking for a raise or they've found another job. But with Diane, it was always, something is going on with my family and I'd like to take a little extra time off. So that family was always the theme with Diane. The Washingtonian is an unusual place to work in that a lot of us have been there a long time. And it's an odd place in that our professional lives and our personal lives come together, and we often write about things. So I still remember which one of you, when she didn't have to go to the bus anymore, goodbye. And so we have Diane's picture on the wall outside of her office, and it's a reminder to us every day of that wonderful smile that she had. It seemed like you never stopped by to talk to her that you didn't get that wonderful smile. The only times that I think I ever kind of baffled her, I went to Wisconsin and she went to Northwestern. And some Monday mornings, as guys will do, I would stop at her office and I'd say, how about that Northwestern game yesterday? She would give me this blank look. Why are you talking about games? Well, I'd like to point out that dislike of sports was not passed on genetically. After Northwestern beat Wisconsin this year, it wasn't a half hour after that game that I got an email from Evanston. I hope you saw that, Jack. So we remember the smile, and we remember the wonderful intelligence that she had. She brought so much to the magazine in terms of, she was sort of our watchdog on what big issues we ought to take on. Leslie Milk reminded me that Diane was remarkable for the people that she wrote about, frequently became her friends, and she stuck with them. I think that's the same with you. And she had this wonderful intelligence for a journalist that she wanted to change the world, but when she wrote it, there was no opinion in it. She wasn't trying to tell you what to think. She was such a good reporter that she laid it all out in such a great way that you saw the world differently. And that's what great journalism is. So she cared a lot. She was very smart. We miss her every day. And David, we will never forget her.